Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Witching Hour with your hosts,
Miranda.
and Nina. I love how you always do that.
I do. I'm a weirdo.
Here, let's pull the table back a little bit because I think we're a little too forward.
That's what they always say.
A little too forward, man. Okay.
It's just us little Chicana girls.
Right. So we were both like kind of in the lazy mode.
So I can do that.
Just feeling like really chill, really laid back, and I think we're just preparing ourselves for today's podcast. This is gonna be our last week of Gentle January.
Yes, and then we're gonna get into some crazy full blown
Witchcraft, witchy shit.
Yeah.
The love magic and all that good stuff. Anything we haven't covered before.
The voodoo dolls.
Yeah, love voodoo dolls. Yes, they work.
They do.
Okay. But today we're gonna talk about spiritual baths and spiritual teas, how they're alike, how they're different, why we do them, and where they derive from. So I know that you've always used spiritual baths in your cultura, in your culture, your religion, and what's your knowledge on it?
So I remember being really young, really young. I don't even think people were supposed to have memories at this age, but I developed them. But I remember watching my grandmother, and I remember the first time, I don't even know if this magazine is still around. I think it's just digital now. But Latina, do you ever read about Latina magazine? Oh my gosh, I loved that. And I was so adamant about getting one every month.
Yeah, I was into Latino like in my early 20s. Yeah, I had to wait a while.
I was like, I think I started reading it when I was in middle school because they had really good articles when they first came out.
Yeah.
And it was great because they focused on our culture. It wasn't,
That was the only magazine that did at that time besides Lowrider.
Yeah, and I already did the whole cholo thing. But I mean, I felt like there was so much there, like even their recipes, just the culture itself, like it spoke to me.
Yeah.
So I loved it. But I remember watching my grandmother when I was really young do certain things, and not my mom's mom, her mom, which is really weird because she passed away when I was really young.
So your great grandma?
My great grandma.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I also remember a few things that my dad's mom did, but they were never like completely like full into it. And I remember just little things here and there. There used to be a local bruja down the street. So I knew a little bit of stuff, and then me being me. But I remember picking up the Latina, and they're deriving to our culture.
Yeah.
You need to do a spiritual bath. And I was like, oh, I love this. And they talked about, it was the first time I had ever heard about cascarilla, and I think I was probably 13.
Yeah.
I mean, we had always used it, but we had never put a name to what we were doing, which is very popular in the Latin community. We do all this stuff, and there's reasons to it, but we never give it a name. We never branched out. So that was probably the first time I really started to do spiritual baths and stuff like that. I was probably about 12 or 13.
Do you put cascarilla in your baths?
Some of them, not all of them.
Okay. I just had to ask that.
Yeah, some of them I do. I know that it's more widely used with Santeria, with my practice with Santeria, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So spiritual baths and teas have come from so many different cultures. When I was looking this up, I was like tripping because it's like every genre of person,
and every culture
resorts to coming into spiritual baths, even in the Bible, y'all.
Yeah.
Even in the Bible.
In the Bible, they talk about, being washed in the river of Jordan. Did you know that Jesus Christ was even baptized
In the river.
Yes. I know hoodoo practitioners, they do something similar. I've even heard of voodoo. I know with Santeria, there's the big ones that we do right before we prepare for certain things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I'm getting,
and
like
natives.
indigenous. Yeah, indigenous. And this is indigenous all over the world, like South American indigenous, um, all kinds of different. Hi, you can come sit over here if you want. Um, all kinds of different types of indigenous backgrounds also use spiritual baths and teas, for cleansing and protection and prayers. And this is how they connected to their spirits and their, their gods and stuff like that. But
Definitely.
also in curanderismo,
Yeah. The healer work.
yeah, healing work, they use the baths and teas.
And that's
Brujeria.
where I learned to do most of it
Right,
is
right.
through curanderismo.
The folk magic, even.
Yeah,
This is more of
the
the
espirituales.
and European
Mhm.
Latinos. But biblically, I just want to bring that up.
I think that's important that you bring that up because that's what I tell people too. Like, because sometimes we can't always get to cleanse your homes and stuff, you guys. So I always tell people, sometimes if dire shit happens, pull out your Bible, pray over
Right.
that mop bucket.
I always, you know me, I'm an avid user of the power of the Psalms, the Psalms.
Yes, the Psalms.
So I use a lot of the Psalms in a lot of my work. And just to also bring awareness that, people that are scared of witchcraft or think that we're demonic for doing baths and doing spells and using herbs and stuff like that to heal.
We're using, we're going against ourselves.
Biblically, they used bitter herbs for purification, to purify the soul in the Bible. Also for healing.
Well, yeah.
Healing, they would put it over wounds, they would put it inside the body, and also wash themselves, like you said, in the baptisms, when they would fully engulf themselves in water. There's also plant-based stuff that they would use. When they commit a physical body to a grave, they use herbs, they burn it. Not so much a bath, but it's also burned, so it's not all bad. Like it, I just wish people would open their mind a little bit more to what it is, and know that it is your perception. It's not factual. It is your perception. But the reason why we use plants and herbs is because plants actually hold memory.
The water. Yeah, the water definitely holds the memory, and plants, it's nature-wise.
Yeah, plants hold memory, frequency, and medicine. So all of that combined together is obviously going to help you. And the bath is more for external washing, cleansing, auratic, energetic, and then the teas are for internal, cleansing out your body, healing the body, different things like that. So, your body is the actual vessel of these things, and the water carries the intention. So when you add water, you always want to put your intention, whether it's a baño or whether it's a tea. So make sure you're putting your intention into that so that your intention is very clear. So, we have a few recipes that we have later on today or this evening that we're going to give you, and then we're also going to give you the intention that goes into it just to get you started. But remember, follow your instinct, follow what your guides give you, because if you are attracted to certain herbs or certain things, probably need to look into that because you're being guided that way.
Yes, and be cautious, you guys, because sometimes we hear things and they're not always correct. One thing I always err on the side of caution with herbs. Some of them are poisonous if they are ingested. Some of them are fine if you use them for certain rituals or cleansings.
Some of them are bad for your pets and all that. So,
So just do your homework, okay?
Right.
Do your homework.
And I just want to say that this isn't a trend, you guys. This is culture. This is survival from our ancestors. They use these for survival. So, obviously it worked for them. Why not carry that into our newer culture? Because we have started to rely on so much medicine that's, big pharma and all that. And I'm not going to get into all that, because some of that's helping. But at the same time, if you can heal it with something else that's more natural, that's better for your body and not poisoning you, why not do it?
Well, see, in the natives, their whole belief on it is for every sickness or disease, there's a plant to cure it.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, that was always their whole thing. But then moving and all of that and the pollution, it's kind of ceased things. A lot of people. I mean, you remember when we went down and we did that car show, and
Yes.
it was funny. Nobody wanted to get cleansed with an egg, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But they were all coming up and smudging themselves.
Yeah, because
So-
I had a stick of sage burning just
Yeah.
on the side of us to keep it clear.
To keep it, yeah.
And they were, can I use your sage? And they would go and just like bathe themselves in the sage. And I'm like, okay, fucking weirdos. Like I could have done that for you, but that's just the way I think because I'm an asshole. But I mean, I thought that was really weird too.
I thought it was strange because they were very concerned about the cards, remember?
Uh-huh.
We only had a few people that actually came up and wanted to have the cards done because, it was bad. But then, at the same time, they didn't want the egg cleanse,
Right.
which is crazy. Nobody wanted the egg cleanse.
You know what I think it is we've kept this kind of stuff so sagrado, like
That, yeah.
so sacred and so hidden that people are afraid to be out in the open with it.
Yeah, so I just thought it was crazy that they were cool with, smudging themselves with the smudge stick that we had there that was burning just to keep the area clean.
Yeah.
But they were like, hell yeah, let me, but don't do any of the other stuff. We're gonna go to hell for that.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of crazy. But we did have a few people that came around and they listened to us on it, and then they were like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I
definitely.
knowledge is power. You guys go with what feels good.
Right. Go with your heart. So what a spiritual bath does, it releases emotional residue, calms your nervous system, restores spiritual balance, and also reconnects your body with your spirit and your ancestors. So these spiritual baths get pretty deep and they get pretty sacred.
Yes.
Um,
I prepared one earlier today for a client. I've prepared some throughout it. It's not as big here as it is in other places,
uh-huh.
but yeah. And there's certain herbs you can use and certain herbs you shouldn't. We have sweet herbs and we have bitter herbs. Bitter herbs never touch the head. They always go from the shoulders down.
Uh-huh.
Sweet herbs you pour throughout the
And
body.
healthier myself.
Yes.
No, she's made me a few baths before too because I definitely needed them, and all I know is every single one of them has smelled so damn good, like so good. And when I air dry, because you air dry afterwards, and some of the petals are still left in my hair, should I leave that shit in there because it smells good? I need a damn perfume today.
You haven't tried the vinegar baths. That's a bitter
no,
bath.
I
That one's
have
so
not.
rough.
I have not had a bitter one.
But I will tell you guys, if you want one of our vinegar baths or you want that job, I guarantee that.
Okay, so
There's stuff out.
explain why they would get a vinegar bath.
So, and this will be for people that have extremely difficult, I would say, demons and things on them, things that are working against them. You would want to do the vinegar because vinegar strips. Okay, vinegar is going to strip all of that off, and then you're going to cleanse yourself with a different thing afterwards.
And I'm going to stop you right there because it does strip. And when I'm saying it strips also through bloodline, so generational shit that you're trying to let go of. It will help you release these things from your physical body and your energetic body. So, if you're on that journey of cutting cords or generational curses or anything like that, just know that that's probably going to be your best bet to help you. These are tools for us.
They don't smell great, you guys. Not all of them smell great. Some of them are a little rough. Those of us that have practiced Santeria, we have to have one of those head rogations. That one's intense, I will tell you. I can't speak too much on it, but we do cleanse ourselves and we put the stuff on our head and we keep it there and it's rough. So some of them are not.
Do you put it under a plastic hat or what?
No.
No, you just leave it on there?
Yeah,
And it just has to stay?
It has to,
Oh my
because
gosh.
it's cleansing our thoughts. It's cleansing our thoughts. I do offer a coconut bath that I do naturally here for people, especially women that have just had babies or say that you're severely depressed. It's also rough because you're going to have to do this while it's not warm. It's kind of cool. So you might freeze your little stuffs off. But I promise it works. I've had to do that for some people where I've done a coconut bath. And I've done it myself. I've done plenty of coconut baths.
Yeah, my mind just goes all left real quick when I'm like, you have to leave shit on your head, and then how do you stay still? Like, how does it stay on your head?
You leave it on your head, and then they wrap a toalla or something
Oh,
over
a
your head.
toalla. Okay, I was like, what
Yeah,
the
no,
hell?
you have to leave it there. You know, like when our grandmas, whenever they would get headaches or certain things,
And they tie the
and they tie it on
paño-
there. Yeah,
the paño
that's
around
the
your head,
whole
yeah.
thing.
That's
Whole
funny.
same thing.
Yeah. Okay, so baths help you with your aura, with your emotional residue. Energies picked up from other people, like places, trauma, sex, stress. And it's also best after arguments, after being around people that drain you, grief, heartbreak,
A
jealousy,
long night of
energies.
drinking.
Yeah, like, you know, especially being around all the people that are like, you don't even know what the fuck they've got on them. If you're feeling heavy, disconnected, or stagnant, your energy is. And, you know, you want to do it even before or after, like, huge spiritual work that you're doing for yourself.
Well,
This could
see,
be shadow work.
we have to do baths here quite often, or we have to go out and see somebody that can do certain cleanses for us too. So, but then again, that's because we're immersed in this.
Right.
Now, for regular people, you probably wouldn't have to do it as much, but I always recommend it if you feel like your paths are closed or you're hitting a wall and you're just stuck.
Right. And your intention here is, you know, I'm washing off what no longer serves me. So you want to make sure that you are very adamant about that, so that the things go that don't need to stay.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, like with so when to bathe is when you feel contaminated, or if you're a people pleaser, you're probably gonna have to do that more often than
Definitely.
more often than anybody else, because overgiving and people pleasing leaves your aura, your energy looking like Swiss cheese. Okay, you feel like you've lost yourself. If you've been arguing, fighting, crying, holding in anger and grudges, guys, I just have to say, grudge holding is not a good thing for you. It weighs you down, and it also gives the other people power still. How is karma going to work if you're still hanging on to it? You know, you got to release it, let it go, so karma can do its job and do what it needs to for that. But yeah, when you're holding on to anger, grudges, shit like that, that's probably one of the worst ones. And if you cry when you're bathing, like, it's okay. You want to prepare it like with candles, with soft music or instrumentals, whatever makes you feel good.
Yes. Well, see, in that article that I read when I was really, really young, you know, it talked about, you know, the Aztecs just going to the waterfalls, you know,
Yeah.
and right now we are in Utah, you guys, so our weather is kind of wonky. I would not be trying to go to no waterfall right now, but
we have talked about river cleansing before, like
Yes.
taking everybody out and just going and dumping all motherfuckers in the water. You know what I mean? Let's get in the river and let's cleanse y'all, and do that with intention.
and get it taken care of. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people that are in warmer states. I actually talked to someone who does the same type of work we do, and during the summertime, because they're out in Georgia, especially, she'll pick certain times to go to the waterfall and cleanse people, and she'll get
Oh,
lives
that's
of people.
nice. That's nice.
So it's different. Natives would also smother themselves in dirt.
Mud. I was thinking mud.
No, just dry dirt. We would
Dry
like
dirt?
scrub ourselves.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like what you do with graveyard dirt.
Mhm.
You go to the cemetery. Okay.
And in Santeria, we do something similar. It's, you guys, it's just part of our culture. And a lot of our culture was stripped from us, especially when we were taught to assimilate. It was not something that was, you know, looked upon very good. A lot of times things were seen as paganistic, you know, devil worship, that type
Just
of
like
thing.
it is now. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing different now than the way things are looked at. So yeah, I just feel like, you know, any little thing that is bringing a closure and you want to let go of, release. let's get you a bath, get you a spiritual bath to let go of these things, because residual energy is a thing, y'all. It still does hang on around you, and especially if you're stepping into a new version of yourself and you are, yeah, do a bath.
Yes, and I want to add to that. Okay, so a little while ago, I actually made what has been referred to as black walnut bath. We actually sell it here. I have one that I make that's the Hispanic version of the black walnut bath that was off the shelves within days, and I recommend that for cord cuttings, for when you're breaking up with relationships, remove all that sexual residue, energy, that type of stuff. You want a clean slate, that is what you want to do.
Right. And also, if you're trying to connect with your guides, your ancestors, and you're on your spiritual walk and you're not really sure how to do that, a bath helps you bring that in. If you're trying to do shadow work, a bath helps you release that. So I mean, there's so many reasons to do these things. Both baths and teas, you do them with intention and prayer. And they work best when it's done slowly and consciously. You have to be fully conscious when you're doing these things. No phone, no bullshitting with friends or anything like that. This is something that it has to have your full attention.
Yeah, I kick the kids out of the house. Or I'll tell them, hey, I'm doing a spiritual bath. Do not knock on the door. Do not come and get me. I don't care if it's burning it down. Like, I am in here. Do not talk to me until after I'm done. And then they'll go towards the bedroom door and they'll be like, are you done? And I'm like, yeah, okay. So they know. So it's okay. Like, if you've got to smack a few of them around so they know, trust me, they'll get it eventually.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't have a tub or you don't fit in the tub, like, the tubs are little. My big old ass don't fit in the tub, okay? I put an inch of water and it overflows.
Oh shit! That's when we pull out the mop bucket or the
okay. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
If you don't have a bath tub and you have a shower or you have a faucet, make things work for you. So before I used to have just a stand-up shower, and I told her, how the hell do I do this? And I put it in a bucket of water and I just poured it over me. And I just sat there in the intention, I let it fall all the way down, and then that is how I had to do it because I couldn't stir and soak and stuff,
Yeah, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's what I tell people too. If you don't have it, that's fine. Don't trip. It's going to be good. I normally try to, like, when I prepare baths for people, I try to strain all the herb out that I can. And if you can't and you're worried about your tub getting clogged, that's fine. Just put something in there. I use a lot of cheesecloth for things like that. You can take those herbs and put them in a cheesecloth, wrap them around the faucet, and just let it hit it. So that way it's infusing the bath.
Or you can seep it first on the stove.
Yeah.
Like you're doing a tea, seep it first and then just throw everything.
I love that you said that, because people think that you're just going to take the herbs and you're throwing them into boiling water. No, you're getting that water hot. It's getting to where it's a rolling boil. That's when you see them rolling, you guys.
Yeah.
It's rolling.
rolling. Okay, so when it gets to the rolling point, then you turn it off and you let it set for about 10-15 minutes. So all of the medicine is coming out of it, okay?
Those of you that have altars, strain it and leave it on your altar for the day or for the night. If you're not able to do it, but talk to your spirits and be like, hey, I need this to do this for me. And it also empowers it.
Yes. Yeah, and then you put it in your tub, put it in your water, or in your cup and drink it. Either one. Either one works.
Yeah, the teas are great, you guys. The teas are great. Again, with herbs, make sure if you're going to ingest something, make sure you can ingest it first.
Yeah. And so now we're going to go to spiritual teas. Like, this is for internal healing and integration, when you're integrating yourself with.
Sometimes we get going and we have so much information that we have to write it down, you guys. We're not
I have to write shit down because I'm old, okay? I need to my mind goes all kooky, so I have to follow some kind of format. But integration with new deities, with new processes, with new things in life, the new you. So also teas also help you with your nervous system, your
Yes, they do.
emotions stored in your body, your heart, your womb, your gut, and also your intuition. Um, and it's best for like anxiety, people who can't sleep correctly, heartache, grief, stuck emotions, um, internal. I'm just gonna say the gut issues is a big thing because so many people have so many um, gut illnesses. You know,
And it has to do with blocks in the physical world.
parasites, blocks,
Mm-hmm.
all of the above. So that gut health is really important. So getting those herbs in there to help you out, help you pass them and all that is gonna be great. And so your intention here is I'm nourishing what needs to stay. So the other one, the bath, was I'm releasing what needs to go. Your teas are nourishing what needs to stay. The similarities between them is also intention and prayer. The bridging your physical with your spiritual and your ancestral. And most teas were mostly done by women, and they would give them to their families, and their families probably didn't even know what they're doing.
Well, I mean, I think we all grew up with yerba buena, whenever we felt sick, or even Jello water. Did they ever
Yes,
give you Jello
Jello
water?
water, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, or chamomile tea.
Yeah, I've never been really one for chamomile, but the yerba buena for sure.
Yeah, and I remember giving
green
that to my
tea.
babies when they were sick.
Yeah, most definitely. Um, and this is also for self-initiation if you're trying to get out there and just do better for yourself and manifest, and just know that one clears, one fills, but they both heal, and together they heal together. You know what I mean? So if you could do one and one, that's great. That is so great. Um, so when to drink tea? I don't know if you can read that.
Oh wait, I think I got it, guys. So what this is saying here, it says when you're feeling raw, tender, or emotional, your bodies feel tired or anxious, they need grounding or sleep. Sometimes when you're going through lessons, loss, or awakenings, this is also for long-term support and not just a reset. Teas, it says here, rebuilds. That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. I love that. I love that you wrote that down.
Yeah, teas rebuild. So also with it rebuilding, it rebuilds new things, especially if you've let go of generational things, cords. This is going to rebuild what has been broken off, what stayed behind, because we do need to heal that, especially if you're getting any type of energetic work on you. Make sure they close you back up, you guys.
Yeah, be very careful. I know a lot of people think that they can do Reiki, but I don't think that they're... Make sure you go to an actual Reiki master, you guys. We had a girl in here not too long ago, and we had to completely do rework on her because the people didn't seal her. I even seal people after I do my egg cleanses. I know you seal them when you do smoke cleanses. It's just... Make sure you're going to someone who knows what they're doing.
Right. It's like opening a brand new bag of something, and you get out just a little bit, what needs to come out, and are you going to put it back in the fridge like unsealed? No, hell no. You're going to zip it up so it lasts, so it
stays good.
Stays good, But if you leave it open, it's going to spill, it's going to fall, it's going to get messy. That's what happens to our auras, you guys, if you don't take care of them. If you go and get energy work and you feel like shit, like complete shit afterwards, and it's not the normal purging, guys, because we purge after energy work, okay? It's not the normal purging, but if you just feel like you have absolutely disconnected from yourself, more likely they did not seal you and they did not close you up. That is something you have to get done, taken care of immediately, because it will take you down a rabbit hole of mental, spiritual, physical illness. Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Bad.
And not just that, I will say that some spiritual practitioners do not have your best intention and they can actually use those openings to siphon your own energy. You know, a lot of people that do a lot of the darker work, you know, they will keep your signature, which is your energy, and so that way when they throw things, you're the one that's being hit by it.
And yeah, that's another thing. You got to be careful with what you're doing, especially when you go to group spiritual things. Group spiritual things, guys. Like, I remember, and this was here, but there was somebody running a session, and she was like, "Oh, put all your stones in this Florida water," and everybody was just, "Oh yeah," so excited throwing them in there, and I just thought, "Fuck that! I ain't touching that shit. I ain't putting myself in there. I'm not touching the bowl at all," you know, because I already knew. And this was before I even knew anything. I already knew that they were going to gather all of that energy from everybody, and that can be used for whatever. And that's karma coming back to you, whether you know it or not, because your energy's there. And especially with the type of people, the type of person she was or ended up being, I'm sure she used it for malicious stuff, you know. And all these people are walking around with their energy being used for something else. Yes, it makes spells stronger, especially children's energy, you know. So you just kind of have to be so wary about group stuff. But you know, with the baths and teas, I think that this should be something that is very you just incorporate it into your life, because like our ancestors didn't say, "Oh, is this physical, is this spiritual?" They just knew that it healed either way. So that healing is always happening. Healing is always needed, no matter what we're going through. Even if we're good, there's still some part of us that needs some healing, you guys.
And sometimes you gotta do the work to maintain it,
right?
You know?
You know, like the other day, our last week, Miranda was drinking some tea because she had her little coughing fit.
I know, you guys haven't coughed yet. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
I watched me start coughing.
And it does work. It helped her. It soothed her. And I even felt her whole energy change after she was sipping.
It like shifted. It's shifted. I can't talk.
Because before
shifted.
we were very chaotic, and afterwards I just felt that, like, okay, now she's grounded. Now she's getting a little bit, you know,
like her smart ass self.
Yeah. You know, more grounded, a little bit woozy. Like she could have taken a nap probably, but you know that's all good. It's better to be that way than
Blue Lotus. No, just kidding.
Right. You know, Blue Lotus tea is a thing, y'all.
Blue Lotus is something for me, damn.
Okay, so we have a couple of
you
baths and teas. Yes, I did. So this one is for grief and healing, and this is a bath and tea mixture, guys. Okay. So this bath is called a soft release for grief, and you're gonna get rose petals. And don't ask me how much. This is like put your love into it, okay? Use your corazón. Just throw some in there, whatever you feel. You know,
it's hard with people of the Latin descent or Mexican. Like, I don't care what you're gonna say. You know, that's why we can't share recipes, is because we're always like, okay. Well, they said do it until you're, you know.
Yeah.
We shake until our ancestors tell us, yeah, mija, it's good. So grab a handful and just
just throw it in there. And so this one consists of rose petals, chamomile, a splash of milk and honey. Okay. And when you use milk, you can use any milk you want to, but I prefer like the dry flakes in my bath. Yes.
I always give her whole milk baths.
Yeah, but I prefer the dry flakes, and I just feel like because it doesn't like get diluted so quickly.
Oh, I love that.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's why I prefer that. But either way, you do what you want. You know, we're brujas, we're witches. You do what you want. It's gonna work either way because it's the intention that matters. And whatever makes you feel more confident about what you're doing, that's what you gotta go with. And then this one says a pinch of salt, y'all. And so you can use Epsom salt, Himalayan salt, sea salt, table salt, whatever type of salt you have. So again, you're gonna seep it, you're gonna strain it, and then you're gonna pour it into your bath. And with this intention for the grieving and the soft release, I release what I can no longer carry and I am held. Okay, and so this is really, I don't know, it just...
Oh, Matt said something. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt. This is something that really is emotionally fulfilling is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to tell you, the rose heals emotional wounds. Chamomile calms your nervous system. The milk and honey makes you feel like you're being nurtured. And, you know, when you're tired of being strong. Can I get an amen? Motherfucker. No, just kidding.
I know with Santeria, we use a lot of honey baths.
Yeah.
We do a lot of stuff with honey, and we do a lot of stuff with milk,
And
And
it
it's
is
nourishing.
Nourishing. The sugar sweet brings in that sweetness, that tenderness, especially your divine feminine energy. But even masculine energy needs that nurturing.
Yes, you
You know
guys
what I mean?
do.
So-
Stop being so tough. No, just get it.
Right. And with the tea, this is called Hardy's, and you're gonna use kind of the same herbs: rose, chamomile, linden or lemon balm, and that's it. And your intention here is, my heart is safe to feel and safe to heal. You want to sit these slow. Like I said, no distractions. You just want to take that time for you. If you need to sit out on your porch, even in the freezing cold, like whatever it is that brings you back to your oneness, do that. Okay, and so that one is for grief and healing. The next one we have is protection and energy clearing. We need protection from jealous energies, spiritual exhaustion, being in crowds. So with the bath, it's going to be clear and guarded. I can't even read my own damn handwriting. And with this one, you're going to use Epsom salt or sea salt. With the Epsom salt, just whatever it says on the bag, throw it in there into your tub. This one you can throw the herbs actually in the tub, because they aren't super.
They're not big or heavy.
Yeah, for people with sensitive skin, and that's why we steep it first if you have sensitive skin or skin allergies. Rosemary, 2 bay leaves, lemon peels, and so the sea salt cleanses, the rosemary protects and sharpens your intuition, and the bay leaf seals your boundaries. So this is something like when you've got something set into place, the jealous energy, I'm done with this, the breakups, I'm done with this, you're setting your boundaries there. And with the tea, it's called inner shield. So you're giving yourself a shield inside of your body. And so this is rosemary, but with rosemary, it's such a strong herb, you want to use just a small amount, like a couple of pinches, okay? Ginger and mint.
Oh, I love ginger and mint.
And with this one, my energy belongs to me and me alone. So you are taking claim of your power, and you're claiming your body, your energy. And yeah, what's not yours leaves now. What's not mine leaves now. So that's those ones. And there's another one for calling yourself home.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
I would feel like something like that is probably when you've gone through something very traumatic.
Very traumatic.
I know for women, there's a native bath that we do when they've been sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
The reason that we do that is because, your spirit is broken.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it needs to be put back together.
Well,
When you go through certain traumatic incidences, your body breaks to save you.
right.
And that's what it is. Your
That's how
spirit
I
leaves.
explain it to people. I'm like, you go through something so traumatic, your spirit cannot handle it, so it eliminates itself from the body for a millisecond and comes back in so that it can handle the trauma. But a piece of you stays there. That's where we lose soul pieces in that time. That's why we get stuck in cycles, because a piece of us is still going through that pain, that trauma over and over and over. So it's really important to go back and get your soul pieces and reconnect with those.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So I love that you put that down there. I feel like that's very powerful.
So calling yourself home, orange and lemon, you guys, like, those are the best. I always put them in my garbage disposal and let it turn, and all that scent coming up, because it's just
so
vibrant. So it does uplift you. Cinnamon sticks or a pinch of cinnamon, that activates whatever it is you're doing. You're calling your energy home. You're activating your spirit. Lavender balances your emotions, and a few drops of vanilla. So you're gonna walk out of this bath smelling like somebody wants to eat you. Yeah, for real. Somebody gonna eat that shit. And then
No, just kidding.
Okay, and then with soft, the tea is called soft powered. So you want to get hibiscus or rose, whatever you choose, cinnamon, vanilla, honey, and boil it, steep it like a tea. And I am allowed to enjoy myself. And you don't need to do all of these. Do one bath, 1 cup, 1 intention, and that's enough. That's enough for you. So, that's what I have as far as like recipes and stuff. You have so many more. I know that there's even like, if your child starts their period, there's baths for that, like a ritual, for their body to go through that change.
Because they're coming into womanhood.
Yes.
Definitely.
And you want to make sure that they're pure and clear and, don't have no negative energies around that, so they're not stuck with bad cramps and shit like that. And especially if they have been touched or fucked with before they come of age, you want to be able to release those
things,
negative energies. So, yeah, just be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself, and remember, again, not all herbs are meant to go or to be ingested. Please be aware of what you're putting into your body. But if you guys want custom baths or teas made, and we can do a whole like month's worth if you'd like, or a whole month's worth of tea, whatever it is, Miranda is really good at that. We will put together some herbs for you, specialized, customized, okay? And we will charge a $20 customization fee, and then you buy the herbs and we'll put it together for you, okay? This is good because you're not going to do it daily. I mean, unless you really want to, but you don't need to.
You don't need to. Yeah, definitely.
And also, if you know what a yoni steam is.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Nina has wonderful yoni stuff, okay?
Yes, I've been researching this for like over a year already, with the herbs and stuff that help the woman parts and, your insides and all of that. Especially using yoni baths as well as somatic exercises and stretches to help release a lot of trauma because we carry it in our hips.
Yes, women naturally do that. And I don't care how tough or how strong you are, how easy of a life you've had, we carry that naturally. And we do have to go through things to release that. That's just part of, my grandmother would always say, it has to do with our spirit. We're able to carry it, and that's how we do it.
Yeah. And, you can do a homemade, I plan on putting some kits together. I just haven't really gotten that far yet, but if you want to do it at home and you want the herbs, you want something specifically for you, I can put that together for you as well.
Yeah, definitely. And her yoni stuff, her yoni. And her yoni. Oh my goodness. We're unchained, you guys. Anyways, her stuff's pretty good. Like she says, she's been working on it for quite some time. And this is just active knowledge. This isn't just other stuff that she's had to work for or work through for people for quite some time. So
yeah.
And you know what? You got questions? Come into the shop, you guys. We are really nice. We're all great, pretty roundabout people.
We're mostly nice.
Come in with respect. Let me just say, come in with respect. Don't come in disrespectful or thinking, you're king shit.
There's been so many people with like, with that type of attitude that they know and they don't, like, they're not open for other knowledge, and that's so weird to me. But okay. Especially claiming to be spiritual. I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
Yeah, I don't know. But, come in, ask questions. There is no situation that we ourselves have not dealt with personally, or that we know people that we love and care about that haven't been through. Yeah, there's no stupid questions either.
As you know, like, we're not afraid to go there and, the traumatic stuff, the embarrassing stuff, the stuff that's been hidden away for years and generations and stuff. I have, before we go though, people that are, I forgot to bring this up, and just because you're here, it's coming to mind right now, and I feel like I need to say this before we go, is, especially breaking off from your religious background and your religious ties, it's traumatic, guys, to let go of what you thought was truth and being incorporated and thrown into something so different, there's fear, there's, you know, like
You even
self-doubt.
feel shame. You even
Yeah,
feel
shame, and you will get shamed from your family. I mean, this is gonna fucking happen, you guys. This is a tool you can use for yourself to help bring you back to yourself, okay? And so, even if you're going through stuff like that, you're not alone. You're not alone. We're here for you. You know, we can get through this together. And if you need guidance, you need advice, you're not the first or the last, okay?
Yeah. Okay, calm down there.
Hey.
La Bamba.
I wanted to yell, yummy.
Oh gosh. No.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much for listening to our banter. Until next week, peace.
Bye.
You and your kisses.
I know. It's because I love people.